Hey, you guys, happy meal prep day, or maybe you're doing it over the weekend. Whenever you're getting to this, thanks for joining. We're doing a recording this time, straight up, no Instagram Live this week. So let me know what you think about this. This way, at least you could start and stop the video as we go. So maybe it'll be helpful for you. But this week we have such a good meal prep. We have meatloaves, little mini individual meatloaves. We've had amazing coconut chicken and the best egg rolls you're ever gonna have, and a bread pudding, which is gonna just round off the week and give you all those like wintry, cozy vibes. So let's get going. Grab your PDF, either you print it out or you have it right here. All this is available on prepandrally.com. We meal prep for the week together, so be sure to subscribe and join us. It's great recipes. It's at least 8 or so new recipes every single week, plus a full-on plan. So this is what our meal prep looks like tonight. We're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different items. And then we end up with this amazing coconut chicken here with a satay sauce over it, over brown rice. These mini meatloaves, egg rolls, which are so good, and that's that bread pudding. And we're repurposing certain items like the broccoli and these sauteed vegetables we're using in the meatloaf and in the egg rolls. So all good stuff. I hope you guys love it. Be sure to follow at Prep and Rally so you guys could share all your pictures with me. Be sure to tag me. And don't forget, the most important part of meal prep, whether you're doing it live or recorded, or you're doing it at home or with your friend or your husband or spouse, whatever you want to do, grab your wine, okay? Cheers, everyone. Good one. I love red wine, so good. Preheat your oven, 425 degrees. Get that nice and heated. We're gonna be roasting our broccoli in there, so make sure that's nice and heated. And then I have all my pots and pans set up, so we're gonna get going, okay? Let's do this. The first recipe we're gonna make is the chicken. So I'm not gonna cook my chicken tonight. I'm gonna let it marinate overnight and then cook it fresh tomorrow. Totally up to you if you just wanna bang that out tonight or if you wanna let it sit, marinate, and cook it fresh tomorrow. Completely up to you. All right, so I just have a Ziploc bag here, and we're just gonna throw our marinade right in here. Makes it really easy. All right, so okay. So we're going kind of like, it's like a coconutty, Asian-y, supposed to be pineapple, and you guys have that in your grocery list, but my delivery person seemed to forget to bring me my canned pineapple. So I'm going a little funky today, and I'm using some applesauce in place of my pineapple. So, bear with me. Okay, soy sauce just went in. Instead of my pineapple, we're supposed to be doing pineapple chunks and the actual sauce. Instead of that, I'm just using some applesauce. So it's just pureed apple, so it kind of is like the liquid and the sweetness. It could be really good. I've never done this before, so I'll let you know how it is, but it actually should be really good. So that's that. We have some garlic powder, and we have some turmeric to spice this up, give it some good flavor. And if you let this sit overnight, it's gonna get so good, and at least let it sit for 30 minutes, even if you're gonna cook it fresh tonight. All right, so we have some garlic powder, some turmeric, which is to give it some really beautiful color, plus it's super healthy. And we have our coconut milk. All right, and this gives it such richness and creaminess. I love keeping cans of coconut in my pantry because you can use it for desserts, you can use it for savory. It's just such a great ingredient to keep on hand. And you can find it in most of your local grocery stores, but what it does for marinating chicken, it tenderizes it like crazy, makes it super soft and moist. I know I hate that word, I say it all the time, but it makes an amazing chicken. So definitely go for that coconut milk if you can. A little bit of brown sugar. This could be omitted if you're watching your sugar, but it does give some really nice sweetness, and also helps caramelize and make that chicken nice and sweet. We have a little bit of salt in there. Adjust the salt depending on if you have low sodium soy sauce or full, because you don't want to overdo it with the sodium. All right, I think that's everything on this list. Beautiful. All right, first recipe's done. I mean, that was easy. All right. So we're gonna seal this up. We're gonna pop it right in the fridge. Oh my God, it smells so good. So good. Okay, just give it a little mix around. Let me know if you guys try the applesauce also. I know it's kind of weird. But normally you're gonna have chunks of pineapple in here and the pineapple juice as well. Okay, beautiful. So that could go in the fridge. Done with those. Next recipe. And again, if at any point you want to pause the, hey, where'd my PDF go? Pause. Where the heck did that go? That was so weird. Okay, hang on. Da, da, da. That's so weird. My PDF just like went away. Okay, here we go. Pulling it up again. It's bizarro. Okay, oven again is preheated 425. It's ready to go. We're gonna be roasting our broccoli in there, which I guess we could do now. I say to do the saute first. Let's get our vegetable saute going first. Okay, let's do that. All right, so we have onions. So you just want to finely dice everything. So now we're doing 2 batches of sauteed veg here. So we're going to first saute the onions and the peppers. All right, those 2. Oh, sorry, the onions, the peppers, and the mushrooms. All right, so those all 3 are going in this pan. So let's start getting our pan nice and heated. You want a really big pan here, or if you want to have a big pan, you could do it in 2 different batches. And these vegetables are going to be used in the meatloaf because we're going to saute these 3 things, the mushrooms, peppers, and onion all together. And then we're going to put half in the meatloaf mixture and half in our mixture that we're going to put in for the egg rolls. And then we're going to saute the cabbage separately and add that to the egg roll mixture. Okay, bear with me. Just follow along. Okay, so onions. I'm going to get a pretty fine dice here. Okay.
Can you do that again more slowly?
You got it. You got it. All right, throw that in your nice hot pan with a little bit of oil in there. And these are all going to saute together. All right, so here we go. Like this, make your little slits. Don't go all the way through because you want to hold it together. Oh my goodness, normally I'm wearing contacts so my eyes don't burn from onions. Now they're burning. Ah, dying. I don't know how people do it without contacts. It completely covers your eyes and you don't cry that way. But whenever I take my contacts out, oh my God. Ah, strong onions. At least you know they're fresh. By the way, I don't think any of those things actually work. They say to like hold your breath or to sneeze. I don't know. There's all these like weird things to try to get you to not be affected by strong onions. They don't work. I'm just warning you, they don't work. You see me crying? So sad. Oh my God, they're very strong. Okay. So here we go. A little slit right there. And I just peel off that outermost layer. Pop it off. How's everyone doing? You guys good? Is everyone else crying? Or are you guys wearing your contacts tonight? I don't know. Whew. My God. Oh my God. Crazy what a difference that contacts make. Wow. Goodness. Okay, here we go. Ah. All right, so we're gonna get our onions in, and then we're gonna get our peppers going. I'm still crying. Oh my God.
All right.
It's just so sad. No, actually, legit, I'm like really crying. Ah. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. All right, so now go dry your tears, everyone. Okay. Go dry your tears. Mike, how you doing? Are your eyes not hurting you? You're also not wearing contacts.
No,
Look at me, I'm actually legitimately crying.
I'm far enough away.
You're far enough away. Okay, hang on. Let me just dry my tears because I'm like really losing it. Ah! Oh my God, it's very strong. Hold on. Stepping off. Take a moment. Take a moment. Ah. Wow. Okay. Ah.
What are you going to cut next?
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna cut. Ah. That is so strong. Oh my God, you know they're fresh. All right, so here we go. Peppers. Ah. So poignant. I just cut my pepper off like that. It's just like one of the easiest ways. People are always like, wow, that's like best way to cut a pepper ever. So then I just run my knife through it, create some little strips, and then we turn it this way, and we get some little diced peppers. All right, it's all about that little grid. We're going both directions, okay? Yeah. Okay. One last little dab here. Oh, good Lord, that is so strong. I can't even.
Yeah, Maybe a good time to take a swig of the wine.
I think it's a really good time to take a swig of the wine. Oh my God. All right, cheers, you guys. To drowning your sorrows in wine. Wow, that was so awkward. I've never cried on camera before. It's so embarrassing. All right, make sure you move these around whenever I'm sauteing any kind of onions. I always pop a little salt in there, helps caramelize them even faster. We're all about being fast and efficient and getting through the meal prep quickly. So here we go. Pepper, throw them on in there. All right, next pepper, same thing. So again, you're gonna go around and around, just around all those little seeds. Pretty stinking cool, huh? And watch those little fingers. And that's it. Takes seconds. If you have a good chef's knife, it doesn't have to be that good of a knife. You just need a chef's knife that's sharp. And you could just do that rocking motion. And you should have some proper form. And that way it makes cutting really quick and easy. And it just makes being in the kitchen so much more enjoyable. I say it every time, but I can't say it enough. I really can't. Okay. Beautiful. So sauteed peppers and onions. And then, of course, we have our mushrooms we're going to throw in here. And at this point, you can work on pretty high heat. The mushrooms are going to release a lot of moisture. So you want to put on pretty high heat. That way, a lot of the moisture can evaporate quickly. And nothing should burn because there's going to be more moisture in there. So you're not going to burn as easily as you would without the mushrooms. So turn up that heat. Don't be afraid of heat. I always say to people, don't be afraid of heat and don't be afraid to season and salt your food because otherwise you'll be in the kitchen forever and your food's not going to taste really good. So, words to live by. All right. While that's going, quickly, once this is done, half of it is going to go into here, this bowl that has our meat in it for our meatloaves. The other half is going to be added to this bowl right here, which we'll move closer in a minute. And that's going to be our egg roll bowl, our egg roll filling, okay? Once this comes out, again, half in there, half in the egg roll filling.
Is the egg roll meat or dairy?
Meat, because we're going to add, or you can add some of the chicken from like the marinated chicken, like that's left over. If you want to add that into the egg roll, you can, or you can just keep them completely vegetarian.
So the pan would be a meat pan for those that are asking.
Exactly, 100%. Look at you. You already know the questions. So once this comes out of here, we're going to add the cabbage in the same exact pan and saute that as well. Okay? Everyone good? If you wanted to use a second pan, you could just start sauteing it in a separate pan if you want. But why waste the second pan if you don't have to? Because we could just work on something else in the meantime. So, beautiful. Heat is high. Things are happening. Beautiful. Next up, we have our broccoli that we're going to get started on. So I just have a parchment lined baking sheet. You could just do a straight up baking sheet. I'm just kind of lazy, so I'm using some parchment paper so that the cleanup is pretty simple, but do your thing. All right, so that's how I kind of cut off the florets. Pop them right on here. I'm using a little bit less than the amount that I told you guys to get. But again, adjust to however much you think you're going to eat, whatever you want, whatever you like. If you want to do some cauliflower here, make any substitutions and changes that you want because this is food for you. And these meal preps are simply a starting point for a really great meal and a really great week of food, but make the adjustments necessary to make it work for you. All right, so here we go. And what I could do, instead of either tossing this or turning it into cauliflower rice, I happen to like this part. People think I'm weird, but I find that's really sweet. And we're also going to be adding some broccoli into our bread pudding at the end, using some broccoli in there. So why not use some of this? It gives that same great flavor. It's not like the kids are going to be like looking at it and not want to eat it, because my kids like to eat the top parts, but this is going to go in the bread pudding, so no one's going to see it anyways. It's going to add some bulk, some nice fiber. It'll reduce waste, and it'll be just as delicious. Okay? So keep these sauteing. The mushrooms are starting to break down a little bit. As you can see, it's smelling real good in here. It smells good. Mm-hmm. Everyone say hi to Mike. Hey, Mike. How's it going? Where's everyone tuning in from? It's weird not being live. I kind of miss you guys. It's so lonely in here. Mike, talk to me. No?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh,
So you
my
just
eyes are
sprinkle
red.
it with.
Yeah, a little oil and a little drop of salt and just give it like a little tossy poo. A little tossy poo. All right, and then we're just gonna pop this in the oven. So if you're using the correct amount on the grocery list, you'll have more broccoli than this. Also, my baking sheet is massive. It's like an extra large baking sheet. So, yeah, doesn't look like it's that much broccoli, but I used half the amount that is suggested. So, all right, this goes in the oven, 425 for like 20 minutes or so until it's softened and cooked through. Lovely, lovely. Okay, are we all good? Let me pop that timer on, hold on, just so we don't forget. Always use timers whenever you can. I'm so not a timer person, but when you have 15 different things going, it's good to do. Why not have one extra reminder? Okay, this is ready in like 3 or 4 minutes. So meanwhile, you could wipe off your board if you have some broccoli on it. Always good to work on a nice, clean surface. All right, so anywhere you could just give a little wipe down or clean, why not, right? All right, lovely. And I always work with a garbage can right next to me, a towel right next to me, and wine right next to me. Those are all my key components to a perfect meal prep. Okay? Why are you laughing at me, Mike?
Good line.
Think I'm funny?
It's a good line.
I know, funny.
Those don't happen all the time.
They don't. Okay, so let's get our rice going real quick. I'm using white rice because that's what I had today at home. Use whatever you have, whatever you like, and just cook it according to the package instructions. When it comes to rice, just follow the package instructions. Always just listen to that. Some are like parboiled, some are like quick cooking rice. You never know. You have to just make sure you're buying straight up rice, but I always suggest just follow the package instruction. Unless it's quinoa, and then never follow the package instruction because my instructions are better. Okay, I said it. They are. They 100% are. All right, so we have, because I'm doing white rice, I'm doing 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water. Putting them together, we're gonna bring to a boil and then lower to a simmer and cover until it's cooked through. So, all right. But if you are using brown rice, follow the instructions on your package or on the PDF. But I always suggest just follow your package instructions because every rice is kind of different. Okay? Good. So this I'm going to take off of the heat. So I told you what we're using this for. Half of it is going to go in here. Well, you know what? For now, I'm going to put it all in here for now because I want it to cool off a little bit before introducing it to my ground beef because I don't want it to like slowly cook that meat. So let it cool for a couple minutes first and then pour half of it off into your meat mixture when you're ready for it. All right, so just kind of let that cool a little bit. All right, that should be cool enough in like 10 minutes. We'll do that. Okay, meanwhile, let's do our meatloaves and then we could get those in the oven soon too. So, sip. Okay, here we go. Keep that aside for right now. All right, so we have all of our ingredients for our meatloaf. So if you guys are able to find manwich, this always reminds me of Mary Kate and Ashley with like the sloppy Joe scene in, was it It Takes Two, I think? Whatever, I really like them. They were like my homegirls back in the day. Love them, I was part of their fan club. I got this like box every month with all these like Mary Kate and Ashley goodies. It's okay, it's cool, no big deal. If you're watching Mary Kate and Ashley, I love you. Wouldn't that be so cool if they watch me? Yeah, but I actually love them. They were the coolest. So, big fan, but Sloppy Joe's always reminds me of it, and that's what manwich is usually used in. But I figured why not use that like tangy, yummy, tomatoey sauce flavor and put it into meatloaves. So it's like a Sloppy Joe meatloaf of sorts. Okay, so here we go. We have this meat, all right? Then we're gonna add in 1.5 cups of the mixed vegetables. You could just do half of that, that's totally fine. But we're gonna wait for it to cool. So Wait for that to cool a few minutes. We're gonna do the rest of the ingredients in here, okay? So here we go. We have our meat. We're gonna do about a half a cup of this. Okay, our rice is gonna start coming up to a boil. Okay, here we go. So I have regular sandwich bread. You could take off the crusts, but why do that? Just leave it, that's fine. So just kind of like crumble it into here, and this is gonna make a nice, moist, yummy meatloaf. Okay, I do the same thing with meatballs. It makes it so good. Okay, so just crumble that on in. These are so good. And you could make one big meatloaf if you'd like. I just think they're so much fun when they're minis. So you can make them any size you want. If you want to make them more like a meatball, you could totally do that. Or you can make them into like little slider looking things and just call them a burger for kids that are a little bit more particular or husbands that are more particular. So do your thing, whatever works. But I think they're fun to make individuals, and I think it helps kids enjoy it more when they're like little individual picky foods. It kind of makes you feel special when you get your own of anything, I think. Rice is boiling over here, so we're just going to cover and reduce it to low, okay? Let that cook, do its thing, and we're gonna move on. Beautiful. Okay, so we have our sandwich bread in there. We're gonna do some salt, garlic powder, just season this up. And the manwich already has a lot of flavor in it. If you are using, a bunch of you asked what you can replace the manwich with. You could just do like marinara sauce. I mean, all that's in here, tomato puree, high fructose corn syrup, yay. But vinegar, sugar. So it's kind of like, I almost think of it as like that cocktail sauce. You know, people have with like shrimp, that cocktail sauce, because it has that like tangy kind of acidic, yummy, tomatoey flavor. Super good. So you could totally take regular like tomato sauce or tomato puree and then spruce it up any way you want. Okay, a little bit of salt in there. We're gonna add our eggs, our almond milk, and then some soy sauce. And the soy sauce just adds some umami, which is that good like depth of flavor. You get the same thing from mushrooms and from miso paste, fish sauce, just really good flavors. All right, so we're gonna add in our almond milk. And what that does is reintroduces moisture, because otherwise the bread is just gonna pull all the moisture out of the meat. Here we're reintroducing the moisture, but it's all gonna cook together and be so good. Okay, so I'm gonna take, oh, we forgot to do, guys, totally forgot. While we do this, in the same pan that you were cooking those vegetables in, heat it up one more time, same exact pan. A little bit of oil, we gotta saute our cabbage. Almost forgotten. All right, so I have some shredded green cabbage. You could use purple if you like. And then just pour that in there. Okay, and this is gonna really break down. And this is gonna be for the egg rolls. You'll see, sounds confusing, but I'll guide you through it. Okay, let that do its thing. Give it a little bit of salt, help break it down. All right, and that will cook for a little bit. So leave those alone, okay? Let those cook. Give them a mix every so often. Meanwhile, take your chopped meat, and I'm gonna use my hands in a minute to form these, but you're basically gonna mix this all together, and then in a minute, we're going to introduce our veggies that are cooling over there. Okay, think of this as like a big old meatball, okay? I'm gonna use my hands, but let's pop our vegetables into here.
You said about half?
Hot. Yeah, I said like a cup and a half or so, but like a half. Try not to get so much of the moisture from the bottom. You don't want to make this too wet, okay? And just mix it around. In an ideal world, you could wait for it to cool a little bit longer, but you should be fine. It'll cool off pretty quickly in here because the meat's pretty cold. All right, so just mix it all together. And then have a baking sheet lined with either foil or parchment kind of standing by. I'm going to use this guy to keep tossing around my cabbage. Okay. Something you could do here as well, if you wanted to make this go a little bit faster, you could always give it a little cover. Okay, I'm gonna lower it a tiny bit, cover it, and that'll help it steam and cook a little bit faster. So you could always do that if you want. Okay, so, beautiful. And don't forget about your broccoli. It's in the oven. It says 11 more minutes or so. So we'll check on it then, see what it looks like, and then we could always add more time as needed. Okay, so give us a little mix around. Lovely. Oh, it smells good.
It's not too hot, the vegetables?
No, not at all. It's perfectly fine.
All right, that's something so cozy.
I know. It doesn't look so pretty, but it's actually going to be real good. Super good. I mean, the combination of mushrooms, peppers, and onions is just like the best combo ever. All right, so give that a mix. You don't want to mix it too much because otherwise you make the meat kind of tough, but just make sure everything is kind of incorporated.
So again, in there you have the manwich, garlic powder,
Garlic powder, the manwich with the bread,
salt,
beef, salt, the soy sauce we didn't do. Mike, can you help me unscrew that little soy sauce with your little hand? Yes. Yes, don't forget your soy sauce because it's really good in there.
How much should I put
Just
in?
a little bit, like, yeah, just give it a little drizzle. Perfect, good. This just adds some more good flavor. I love soy sauce, everything. So yummy. Okay, great.
Did you add in salt?
Yes, I did. Opa. Okay, here we go. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of form like little meatloafy guys. Okay, and you could do these any size you like. I think I do it like that. It's totally up to you. If you wanna make like some bigger ones for the grown-ups, maybe like some teeny tiny ones for the kids. Another fun idea is to maybe like take a cookie cutter or just by hand to form like a fun shape. If you wanna make like a star or, I don't know, get creative with it. If you think that your kid may have a tough time eating this, make it as fun as possible. You could also maybe like make it like a kebab on a stick. I could name all kinds of fun creative ways to try to get the kiddos to eat this. These are gonna be so good. You're gonna love them. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it moving. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are all okay over there. Again, stop the video anytime if you need a little break or some extra time. There we go. Now, can you push that closer to me? Thank you. Perfect, even better. All right, I'm gonna make 2 more here. All right. If you're not gonna eat all these in one shot, you could 100% freeze this mixture right now and then resume with the cooking and everything another time. Okay?
So this made around 8, pretty sizable.
Yeah. That makes a lot, but just depending on what you go through. I always say I'd rather there be too much than too little, because you could always take it for lunches and stuff, and you never really know how much people are actually eating, so. But definitely freeze if you want, okay? There we go, beautiful. And let's get rid of this. Give your hands a quick little wash. All right, is everyone good? We're gonna check on our cabbage in a minute.
There's cabbage there, rice over there, broccoli in the oven for another 7 minutes.
Exactly. Pop this lid off. Woo. Beautiful. Okay. Give this a little toss around. Good, good, good. Oops. Lost you. Okay. So you see how this completely shrunk down already? And that happened really quickly because we kind of steamed it a little bit. So I'm going to continue to steam it even more. It really speeds up the process here. So just keep that going. Raise the heat a little bit. Top on again. Our rice is cooking nicely. Leave that, let it do its thing. Should be ready in a couple minutes. And I guess depending on the kind of rice you're using, if you're using brown rice, it's gonna take longer than the white rice. So mine's gonna be done pretty soon. But if you're using brown, it's gonna take longer. So don't be confused, okay? How easy was that? I mean, these are good to go. So you could bake these tonight. I am gonna just pop them in my fridge and cover it so I could just bake them fresh, because why do it now? While you're baking them, because it's ground beef, depending on how lean you got it or not, you'll likely have a lot of liquid on the bottom of the baking sheet. Midway through, while it's cooking, pour off some of that liquid into your sink, get rid of it, and then put it back in the oven so you get a nice crispy meatloaf. You don't want it to be like all soggy. So just pour off that liquid if that does happen, and then continue finishing to cook it. Okay? Guys, all we have left is a peanut butter satay sauce that we're gonna be using over our chicken bowls on Monday. And you could also use it for like salads all week. And then we're also gonna make the bread pudding. Okay? So really easy, amazing meal prep. I hope you guys love this one because I'm totally digging it. And also egg rolls are my favorite thing in the world. The egg rolls are actually forming the night of. Again, you could make them now and either freeze them and then thaw them and bake them that night, or just make them and keep them in your fridge if you want for the next 2 days. You could totally do that. Or just leave the mixture as is and then the night of. Make it a fun experience. Make them with your kids. Kind of get everyone in the family involved in cooking the egg rolls, which is fun. My eyes are still burning me. I'm just saying, do they look really red?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm kind of like in pain. From now on, we wear contacts.
Okay. You'll rally through it.
You rallied through. I love it. Look at you. You're good, Mike. You're good. I'll pay you the big bucks. Okay. So we're gonna make this satay sauce. So here we go. First of all, let's just check this rice real quick. Yeah, my rice is ready. Taking it off the fire. I'm just gonna leave it covered for a few minutes. But
How did you tell that yours was ready?
I tipped it over and no liquid came to the side. So you know all the moisture has been absorbed. It should be totally good. You could also taste a little bit. Yum. Perfect. Delicious rice. Okay. So let me move this over. Here. All right. So I have a little pot. It's meat because we're going to be using this for the chicken bowls. And I have a little whisk standing by because you don't want any like clumps. So you want to make sure you mix it really well. Also keep in mind the sandwich that we just used. Save the rest of it because right before I bake it, and then even when it comes out of the oven, I douse it with a little bit more just to give it extra flavor. So don't throw that out. It's good stuff. Okay. So here we go. We're just gonna add in all of our ingredients for the satay, and then we just heat it for like 2 or 3 minutes, whisk it, and you're done. All right, so we have some peanut butter. You could use like almond butter, really any kind of nut butter you like. I just love the peanut butter, it's so good. Okay, then we have more of our, where's my canned coconut?
Did you use it all?
It's right here. Hiding behind, like, where did it go? Okay, it's like, what's going on here? All right, so we have our canned coconut. Rice wine vinegar, I'm just using red wine because that's what I had. Okay. Hold on, okay, I'm shutting this off. I'm gonna let it continue to just steam in there for another minute or two. And we're gonna work on this heat right here. Okay, here we go. So, rice wine vinegar, or in my case, red wine vinegar tonight. Any kind of acid is fine and works perfectly. A little bit of garlic powder, and then we're gonna add some more soy sauce again, because making it all Asian-y style. Really good flavor from the soy sauce. Okay, and here we go. So you could do salt, but it just depends on how much sodium you want in it. I'm adding 2 tablespoons or so of water. Okay, and then we're gonna juice some lime into here, and then just whisk it together until you have a nice, creamy, rich sauce. You don't want any clumps in here. Okay, so let's get our lime juice, and that's gonna start to cook and thicken up a little bit and get so good. All right, so I have 4 limes. And if for some reason while your satay sauce is in the fridge, it's going to get thick because coconut, when it's in the fridge and it's cold, it firms up. Kind of like butter in a way where it thickens when it's, what am I doing? it gets firm. So make sure you take it out of the fridge and either heat it a little bit Add a little bit extra water to it while you heat it if needed. And just take it out enough in advance before you're about to serve it so that it won't be so cold and also so it won't be so thick. Okay? So we have 4 limes here. The lime juice is so good. And lime with the coconut and the peanut butter. It's already smelling so good. You smell that? Smells good. Mikey, you're so quiet tonight. What, you only talk to me when we're live? That's so nice. You're so quiet.
I know
what to talk to.
I'm moderating without any questions.
That's the most boring job ever. This is no fun. All right. Juicy. Like eating lime juice. Okay. Here we go. Depends on how juicy your limes are. You could just like kind of wing this and make it any way you like and just taste it as you go. So just gonna whisk that together. All right, I'm gonna bump up the heat a tiny bit. As usual, I didn't measure. I recommend you do so. Just makes it a lot easier. But whatever, honestly, you don't need to measure because what I just said is that you could just taste it after it's cooked and then see what it needs. See what you like more. If you want more of that peanut butter flavor, add more peanut butter. Use whatever you like in here. Okay, so bring this up to a boil. And let's make sure we've added everything. Boo boo. Beautiful. Okay.
But you should add in all 4
Great.
limes, or no?
You can if you want. Also, just depends on how big or how juicy your limes are. So I say juice of 4 limes. I said about 4 limes. It's kind of a lot of limes, especially these are really big. I said a 1/4 cup. And usually there's about like 2 tablespoons or so in a lemon. These happen to be big limes. Plus I got a lot of juice out by using this. Normally I don't get as much without this. So it says a 1/4 cup. So use a 1/4 cup to be safe. All right, so you see it's starting to bubble around the sides. Starting to thicken a little bit. Yum. I'm gonna do a little dash of salt. Yummy. Okay, and then we're gonna store that in a storage container. And then...
What, you're bringing it up to a boil and then what?
And then we're just simmer it for a few seconds, just until it
Should you cover
thickens
it,
a little bit. No, you just want it to thicken a little bit like this, and then it's gonna thicken even more in the fridge. Okay? And then if you need more, if it's too thin, you could always add more of the nut butter. If it's too thick, you could always add water to thin it out. Okay? So just always keep that in mind. The last thing we're gonna do is make this bread pudding. I hear my broccoli. Okay, yum, look at this. So good. Do you see all those little bubbles? Starting to get nice and thick. Shut it off, it's gonna thicken even more again once the coconut cools. Okay, let's just get this broccoli out of here. It's always like a big surge of steam right away. Okay, awesome. Hot. Okay. Whoa, it's super hot. Okay, beautiful. Broccoli. Meanwhile,
You shut off the oven?
yes,
Did you-
oven is off. We don't need it anymore unless you wanted to bake this tonight or if you wanted to bake your meatloaves. I'm gonna do that all, I'm gonna do the actual baking fresh the night of, okay? To this, by the way, this bowl that had the other half of the reserve vegetables, we're gonna add our cabbage, and this is our filling for our egg rolls, okay? So we have all this ready here. And that's what we do with this kind of meal prep is we think about all this in advance so that we cook one thing, but we use it in 2 ways. So you just save major time and you save a ton of money in groceries because you're already buying some mushrooms. Why not use it twice?
And you'll demonstrate how to create the egg rolls the day of?
Yeah, so exactly. So the day of, I will post in stories at Prep and Rally, and I'll show you how I roll them. All the instructions are in your printable PDF on prepandrally.com. You could subscribe. Everything is on there, but I will do a complete tutorial demonstration on how to actually do that. Okay? So this can just cool and then it goes in the fridge. How easy is this meal prep? It's crazy. Okay, next. Let's first get our Satay sauce in here. at this. This looks so good. Yum. So a bunch of you were also asking like substitutions for the chicken if you don't want to use the coconut milk or if you don't want to use like the pineapple. You could just grill chicken and you could just grill pineapple if you wanted, or just do plain grilled chicken. Serve this satay as just a dip. You could do chicken on skewers and serve it with this yummy dip.
It smells so good.
Oh, it smells so good. You can even put this on a grain bowl throughout the week. So like for a lunch, take your rice, take the satay sauce, cut up some fresh vegetables, and you have an amazing grain bowl. Okay, it smells so good. Here, let that cool. And the last thing we're gonna make is this bread pudding. Oh wait, take your rice off. Check it out. Looking good. Okay, so bread pudding. So it's always the end of the week is when we do something that's like somewhat fresh. So we're assembling this tonight. You're gonna keep us in the fridge for the week, and then on Thursday you're gonna actually bake it off, and it's gonna be so good. And also we're repurposing the broccoli twice because we're using it as a side dish for our meatloaf night, and the other half is going right in here, as I mentioned. So let's do that real quick. Got a broccoli in. So I just took this like loaf of bread and I just pulled it apart with my hands into like little pieces. And it's a great way to repurpose day-old bread or any bread even that like, I had this in the freezer. So I just took it out and I repurposed it into a full-on dinner. All right, so I have some of the broccoli going in here. The other half you're reserving for your meatloaf night. Okay, and then these, again, you could just put right in here. What I'm going to do, real quick actually, is just give it a smaller little chop through. Any ones that are a little bit bigger, just kind of give it a rough chop just so that it all mixes in nicely and evenly with the rest of the bread pudding. So bread pudding, I feel like most people have only really seen sweet. Mike, have you ever seen a savory bread pudding? No.
You're asking me?
Yeah, you what? My other audience I don't have. I miss everyone. But it's so good. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be cheesy and bubbly, and we're gonna put in sun-dried tomatoes. It's gonna be super yummy. And if you are on a low-carb diet, or if you want to just do this for the kids and the grown-ups want something else, you could even just make a really quick egg or frittata using the sun-dried tomatoes, using the leftover broccoli to kind of lower the carbiness if you wanted. Okay, so there are always options to make it work. But I mean, my kiddos are gonna love this, and Mike, you are totally gonna love this. I may rock the frittata, but we'll see. I'll probably end up picking at this. It's so good. Okay, so here we go. We have some mozzarella that we're adding in. We have the sun-dried tomatoes I was telling you about. Keep the oil that it comes in, because instead of drizzling it with olive oil at the end, I save this oil because it's so flavorful. And we're just gonna top the whole thing with with sun-dried tomato oil at the end, okay? And to that, we're gonna add our eggs because this is gonna be so yummy and decadent, and this is what makes it really fluffy.
So even if you're not cooking it, you should add the eggs now?
Yeah, 100%. Make it completely. You could stick it in the freezer if you want until you're baking it off, or just keep it in the fridge. It lasts. It's really perfect all week. If you're making it Sunday, that is. Don't make it before Sunday, but if you're making it Sunday, you are good to cook it off on Thursday.
Excuse me.
Bless you, Mike. Bless ya. All right, so we have all of our little eggs in here. It's actually hilarious watching Jolie attempt to crack an egg this morning. She's so cute. She loves to make her little pancakes with me. Love that kid. Got a shawl, as she says. Okay. Bless you. Bless ya. Okay. Here we go. So far we have.
In here is bread, eggs, the broccoli, the mozzarella, and the sun-dried tomatoes.
Exactly. Okay, and then we have, I say a mixture of heavy cream and milk. I'm just using all milk tonight. You could 100% do that. But if you were asking how to take out some of the dairy, you could use almond milk in there as well. That works. Okay. And the last remaining things are some salt. Okay, just to season up all the bread. Nutmeg. Got very excited about the nutmeg. You guys are gonna love the nutmeg. Kind of like in a bechamel sauce, like in a dairy, like cheesy cream sauce. You will almost always find nutmeg because it just happens to go so well with savory foods. It's crazy. And that's it. And then we're gonna top it. Oh, if you're using basil, put your basil in there. I'm leaving it out for you, Mike. What? What? Wait, what did I say?
I'm shocked.
I know. Or
What a treat.
the grocery delivery man forgot to bring it.
Oh.
Either way. No, I'm doing it for you. I
Yeah.
know how much you hate it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. But I do want you to eat this. So, okay, I'm using my hands. I know you may think I'm like totally gross, but like your hands are your best tools. If you have nice clean hands, which I do, just give it a little mix around, kind of massage it a little bit. Okay? And this is such a good way to repurpose day old bread. Seriously. You want it to be like crusty, crunchy bread. Because it's all gonna like absorb all this moisture here and then get super crispy with the cheese. And we're gonna top this with Parmesan and that sun-dried tomato oil, and you're gonna just, oh, you're gonna freak out. It's
So
gonna
you
be so
should
good.
top it with Parmesan now, or you wait until you're about to cook it?
Do it now, so you're done. You done. Okay.
But
You don't want it to be too mushy, so don't overmix. What were you saying, Mike?
Nothing.
What were you saying? Okay, beautiful. So kind of like pat it down a little bit. I like when like some of the pieces kind of come up a little bit. Just looks super rustic. Really yummy. If you're doing like a dairy Thanksgiving, or if you're fine having dairy at your meal, this is such a nice like stuffing like Thanksgiving type of dish. It's so beautiful. I love it. And then we got some parmigiano, which my kids almost completely finished, but I was able to snack a little bit. Actually, perfect amount. Beautiful. And that's it. Cover this with foil. Oh, sun-dried tomato oil. So instead of using olive oil, just give a little drizzle of this because it's a super flavorful, yummy oil. Oh my God, yummy. Okay, like if that's not decadent, I don't know what is. Bomb.
Looks great.
We're done. How long was that? For real? Do you even know?
47 minutes.
Yes. Okay. That's the quickest meal prep ever. Hope you guys love that. We have the bread pudding. We have our chicken that's marinating in that bag. We have the meatloaves. We have our rice. We have our broccoli. And we have our satay sauce. Oh, and we have these vegetables, which are going to become egg rolls throughout the week. So make sure you make that a fun experience for your kiddos, or get your husband involved or your boyfriend involved. Again, everything is on prepandrally.com. If you're just stumbling on this on YouTube, hey, what's up? Welcome. And head to prepandrally.com because we do live meal prep every single week. We're usually live on Prep and Rally on Instagram. And you could download all the PDFs once you become a subscriber and get access to all the recipes, menus, and prep with us and rally through the week together. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know what you think about the not live recording. I hope it's helpful for you guys, and it's helpful for me because we weren't available on Sunday anyways. But let me know what you think because I feel like a lot of you preferred this. So keep me posted. Have a great week, and I can't wait to see all your pictures and your posts. Bye, guys.